Apple is preparing for significant changes at this year's Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC, in June. One of the major updates could be the rebranding of its operating systems. However, if you're concerned about your next iPhone being called something like the iPhone 26 instead of the iPhone 17, there's no need to worry. That's not happening. According to well-known Apple insider Mark Gurman, the iPhone 17 will retain its name. While Apple might be changing how it names its software, the iPhone naming tradition is likely to stay the same, at least for now. Apple plans to rename its operating systems, such as iOS, iPadOS, macOS, and visionOS, to match the year they're released. This means that instead of getting iOS 18 this year, we might see something like iOS 25, aligning with the calendar year. This approach is similar to how car companies name their yearly models. For example, a car released in 2025 might be called the 2025 model, and Apple wants to apply the same logic to its software. Gurman believes the main reason is flexibility. By tying software names to years, Apple can make small updates throughout the year without causing confusion. It also aids marketing. A product that sounds current or futuristic may be more appealing to customers. iOS 25 simply sounds newer than iOS 18, even if the changes aren't substantial. However, this doesn't mean Apple is ready to do the same with its hardware, especially the iPhone. Samsung attempted something similar by jumping from the Galaxy S10 to the Galaxy S20 in 2020, aligning the phone's name with the year. While it worked for Samsung, Apple isn't taking that route just yet. According to Gurman, iPhone users are more familiar and attached to Apple's traditional naming system. Suddenly calling the next iPhone the iPhone 26 would be a significant leap and might confuse or even annoy customers. Another reason is that if the iPhone starts using year-based names, older models might seem outdated faster. For instance, using an iPhone 22 in 2026 might sound old, even if it functions perfectly well. Such a change could negatively impact Apple in the long run, particularly regarding resale value and how people feel about keeping their devices longer. That said, Apple has skipped numbers before. For example, the company went from iPhone 8 to iPhone X, skipping iPhone 9 entirely. However, that was a special case to mark the 10th anniversary of the iPhone, celebrating a milestone rather than changing the naming convention permanently. Yes, Apple is changing the names of its software to match calendar years. But no, the iPhone 17 will not be called the iPhone 26. Even though the name remains the same, the iPhone 17 is expected to introduce real changes. Rumors suggest that all models, except possibly the base version, will come with 12 GB of RAM, as standard. This is a significant upgrade from previous iPhones and could lead to much better performance, especially for multitasking and advanced features. Design-wise, changes are also anticipated. Leaked 3D models hint that Apple might introduce a new look for the iPhone 17 lineup, possibly drawing inspiration from the sleek design of the Vision Pro headset. Speaking of Vision Pro, Apple is working on redesigning all its operating systems to provide users with a more unified experience across devices. This means iPhones, iPads, Macs, and even the Apple Vision Pro might start to look and feel more connected, creating a stronger overall ecosystem. Gurman points out that this rebranding is more than just a fresh appearance. It's also a strategic move. By highlighting the redesigned software, Apple can divert attention from areas where it's currently lagging, especially in artificial intelligence. Currently, both Samsung and Google are ahead in offering advanced AI features in their smartphones. Apple hasn't caught up yet and is aware of it. So while Apple might not have the most powerful AI features to showcase at WWDC 2025, it can still impress audiences by presenting its software as fresh, modern, and future-ready. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace out.